Willie D Live.
What's up, family? There's a viral video of Vin Diesel's former chauffeur airing him out. He says that Vin Diesel called him the N-word, then fired him after 18 years of loyalty. Yeah, he said he just abruptly fired him. So there's a guy who is interviewing him, and he says, if you could tell Vin Diesel anything, what would you say? And dude said, well, I would ask him, why did he fire me after 18 years of loyalty? I'm paraphrasing. He said, after 18 years, I never said anything bad about you, and you just fired me. I would ask him to reach out to me and, help me, because I'm desperate and I'm living in an airport. While I empathize with dude, here's why I have a problem with what he said. No man, and I mean absolutely no man, should ever put himself in a position where another man determines his destiny, where another man determines whether he eats or not, whether he feeds his family or not, whether he can maintain a roof over his head and food on his table. If you are in that position, that should be a temporary position, not 18 years of servitude. No, I don't believe in that, man. I absolutely do not believe in that. You gotta pivot. You gotta put yourself in a position where you are not relying on another man. Because if a man can feed you, he can also starve you. And think of it this way, fam. The moment something goes bad, you'll be the last to know. For example, let's say the company is going out of business. And the company could be going out of business for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It could be a few months before the owner gets the message. But he gets the message and he's already making certain provisions. He's already making adjustments because he knows his lifestyle is about to change. At the very least, his income is about to change. And he tells you last. By the time he tells you, you're in no position to pay your mortgage unless you already have money saved up. You're in no position to pay for that trip that you were about to go on unless you already have a nice little nest egg saved up already. When I was about 22, I believe, right before I hit with Ghetto Boys, I remember watching television, breaking news. There was a company, a newspaper company called the Houston Post. It started off as one of the biggest in the game, and then the Houston Chronicle came in and took over. But at that time, they were rivals, and the Houston Post was going under. Breaking news. People are walking out of the building with boxes in their hands. And I remember them interviewing this old white guy, and he had a box on his desk, the same as other people. It was like it had to be like just dozens and dozens and dozens of workstations and desks, and everybody had a box. And he shared that the company, the management, had a note on his desk that read, you have 30 minutes to pack your things and exit the building. The man said he had worked for the Houston Post for 30 years, and they gave him 30 minutes to leave. This is why I knew I can't do corporate America, because these people care nothing. Usually, the smaller the company, the better chance you have of them actually appreciating the employees and treating the employees like family, like a real family, like they care when you get sick. They care when your child graduates or achieves a milestone in life. They care. Those conglomerates, man, they don't give a damn. Oftentimes, you never even meet the people at the top. You never meet the CEO or the president or the COO. You don't meet those type of people. You meet the people at the lower levels of management. Those people, the gatekeepers. And they make sure they never invite you to the party with the higher-ups. George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. But back to Vin Diesel and the racism. Vin Diesel? I thought Vin Diesel was mixed. I thought he had a black parent somewhere in there. You know, Vin Diesel got that passing look, you know. He got enough white in him to pass for white. That's why he's been able to go under the radar without having too many issues in Hollywood. But after these accusations, I think some things may change. I think he may go into a rough patch. Not over the old man, you know, firing the old man. I think, you know, people get hired and fired all the time. I think that racism thing is going to hurt him. And I can see him right now trying to defend it. Well, why would I do that? My mom's black, my grandmother is black, and you know, my sisters and brothers, and I got, you know, all of that type of stuff. But I don't think, it's not going to destroy him, because let's face it, you know, the people who's on the receiving end are some very, very, very forgiving people. I don't know how they got that way, but very forgiving people. But back to the old dude, the former driver, and people who think like him. They should stop thinking like him. Don't ever give another man that kind of power. He had 18 years to get his life together, while working for Vin Diesel, who I'm sure paid him relatively well, right? So I don't know why he thought he could just retire on that, like, I'm a driver. You know, things change. People in the entertainment industry, their money fluctuates and their careers fluctuate. And sometimes they die early. I don't know why he would put all his eggs in one basket, and when the basket dropped, pretend that he didn't know that all of the eggs were going to be broken. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.